Lasermate. Eject. Operation. Channel intro.
Hello, fellow YouTubers. Lego WC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And today I'm gonna go in and take a look at Transformers Thrilling 30 Voyager class Brainstorm. I was thinking about reviewing the Siege Skyfire, but I don't know. I just don't really want to deal with that right now. He'll be really hard to keep on camera, so I just wanted to do something a little simple. Hopefully, I can get him reviewed sometime over the weekend, though. Alright, so this is Brainstorm based on how he appeared in the IDW comics that I've been wanting to read and still haven't checked out yet. I mean, I've read a little bit of them, but I haven't, gotten full headlong into them. But I do think this is a cool figure. He's very simple, but, I mean, he doesn't really suffer too much for it. I mean, this alt mode isn't perfect, but, you know, it's not a super normal looking alt mode to begin with, so I think it's pretty cool. He's got landing gear that can retract. Again, landing gear is a touch that a lot of figures seem to miss. But he can fly along, and yeah, he got his legs hanging out the back, but I mean, it's a nice handle at least. And then you open up his cockpit, and inside you do have his smaller headmaster. Not smaller headmaster, they're all small. But just his headmaster. I don't remember this guy's name. He's a pretty decent little guy, though. Head sculpt is it's pretty good for this scale. Other than that, though, I mean, his head is visible on the back, and which, I mean, it's a headmaster, but still. And, you know, these are his arms. And there's not much you can do with the legs. So, he's not the best, but I don't really expect much. And as far as I know, Brainstorm isn't actually a headmaster in the comics he's from. This figure is based on, so not really worried too much about this. It's just that the Titans Return line actually had pretty decent headmasters. So yeah, I'm gonna set that off to the side for now. Close up the cockpit. Comparison, here he is with the Voyager Whirl, who I may or may not do a re-review for someday, because I mean, I do really love this figure. You can just see how they look. Look pretty cool. Got his Autobot symbols on the wings right here. So overall, he's pretty nice. So I think that covers this gem mode. So now we can get on to the transformation. And yeah, his transformation is very simple, but again, it doesn't really suffer too much for it. Alright. So to begin, just untab the sides right here. Then you undo the legs, just kind of pull them down. You can undo this front here. Hold it down, you let these out to the side. You kind of pull the legs here out to the side to get the clearance to pull this part up. And it just kind of tabs in place. Then you just straighten out the legs. You open these up. Fold the feet down. Alright, let's angle up a little bit more. Fold these down. You just pull the arms down, rotate them around, and just kind of get in here. Pull this out, and you just flip his hands out on both sides if you can. Alright, then for the final step, you just go ahead and you gotta get it at an angle. You wanna have the head, the back of the head facing this way. And then you just kind of angle it like this to get it in. And there's Brainstorm in his robot mode. And in all honesty, it's a pretty cool looking robot mode. From what I've seen from the comics, there's some details he's missing, but he still looks pretty good. And cleans up fairly well. Got decent heel support, although he's got clown feet. Now he does have this gimmick where when you push down here, when you push down right here, his stats are visible. It's kind of an homage to the original G1 toy. I do really like the head sculpt. It's a really cool looking one. You can pull his guns off and just stick them in his hands. That looks pretty cool. But then you got this sticking up, and I'm not sure how I like that look. Now, I'm not sure if he ever does this in the comics or not. He probably doesn't. I just think this is cool. I just kind of like to angle them forward. And that's just kind of how I like to imagine him using them. So for comparison, again, here he is with Whirl, who's definitely not quite as tall, but you can still kind of tell they're both Voyagers. So that's really cool. Now for his articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it can go up a little bit. It can look up and down a fair bit. It does get some side to side. However, when you turn it, it gets more floppy in some locations, which is really odd. Shoulders can do a full 360. They can go out like this. They are on ratchets, and the ratchets are not placed very well. Because ideally I'd like to have it right here, but that won't work. You see, you got it either out here, which I think is too far out, or here, which is too far in. I talked about this before. Ratchet joints can be very nice when they're done properly. The problem is a lot of ratchet joints have this issue where there's just not enough in between. You do get a bicep swivel, and you actually get a double hinged elbow, and the lower one is ratcheted too. However, this is when it's spaced a little bit better. His hands, you can do that with them, I guess. Now, legs, you have to flip this part up if you want to kick them forward more. So you can go kick forward that far and back that far, so that's pretty good. And his hips kind of have the same issue, where it's like his legs are a little too close together, or his legs are spread a little bit too much, which doesn't look horrible, but I still wish there was a different way you could, different stance you could have them in. Again, just a little bit more in between. But they can go out to the side, like about this far, because then you collide with the kind of skirts, I guess, is what you would call them. You get a thigh rotation, get a knee bend a little bit more than 90 degrees, and his feet are articulated, and you do actually get ankle tilt. And again, this is kind of in the time before that was like a standard. So, articulation, again, it's not perfect, but it's better than what you would think with how simple his transformation is. So in all honesty, I think that's about all there is to him. So I'll go ahead and stick him on my display. Alright, so there's Brainstorm with my IDW/Wreckers display. And he looks pretty cool there. He doesn't exactly look out of place. He fits in fairly well. So I think this is a good figure. He's not amazing, but he's still good. He's pretty fun to mess with. Like, I like his jet mode. It's got a little bit of kibble, but it's still pretty cool looking. Transformation is very simple, but as I said, he doesn't really compromise too much. And his robot mode is good. I do wish there was some more paint on it. I know I could probably get labels for it, but I don't know. I might someday. But main problem with robot mode is just the ratchet joints. They are not spaced very well. Like, you can probably get him into some cool poses, but seeing as how I display most of my figures just in kind of a standard pose, it's a little annoying, but it's not a deal breaker. It's still pretty cool. And from what I've seen, this guy, I've seen him go for like 25, I think, and if I'm not mistaken, that's about how much Voyagers were back when he came out. So it might have been 20. I'm not fully sure. So if you want to get him, he's not too expensive that I know of. And I do think you'll enjoy him. So that's my review of Transformers Thrilling 30 Voyager Class Brainstorm. If you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless.